Ryan Elliott, ID Boxing. With me, Ade Oladipo. Ade, what a fight. Cyrus Pattinson with the win over Chris Jenkins. One of the best fights I've ever seen. What about you?
You just don't know, do you? When these fights are made and you look at it and you're thinking, okay, Chris Jenkins has lost 3 of his last 4. He's 34, he's on the way out. Cyrus Pattinson's this new hotshot kid. And honestly, you're questioning the matchmaking. You're thinking, oh, come on, this is going to be easy for Pattinson. And after round 1, you're thinking, okay, this is going to be something a bit crazy. But you're also thinking, there's no way they can keep this going. Honestly, I was ringside with Barry Jones, and we're both thinking, all right, after round 3 or 4, they're going to start to get tired a bit, and maybe Chris Jenkins is going to show he's full 34 years of age. And he didn't. And I want to give Pattinson all the credit because he's the one that got the victory. But, Chris Jenkins, to do that at 34, to do that when everyone completely wrote you off. He's coming to Newcastle, all the crowd is pro Pattinson. For him to dig that deep and keep on going, it was trending to be fight of the year. And it probably still could be. Yeah. Sometimes they win fights to stop you question it, but so far, Mike Costello, who's commentated on fights all over the world, says he is going to remember that forever. And if he says that and he's done everything, you know how special it is.
Absolutely. For Cyrus now, obviously you can't really step back to 8 rounders after that, but phenomenal win. Got to keep the ball rolling though. Domestic opposition again?
Yeah, I think you've got to. We were debating about Fury-Usyk, obviously the British champion, Commonwealth champion as well. Could they do that? Or do they maybe look at someone like a Chris Congo who lost to Usyk? I think maybe you do the latter. That could be a fun fight between him and Eka, but you don't want to have tough fights back to back. And this is not me slighting on Chris Congo, but physically it won't be as hard as fighting Fury-Usyk. So maybe you look at someone like a Chris Congo potentially, or maybe even go lower. As good as the fight that was, and it was a really good fight, you don't want to have that kind of fight in his 6th fight. So I think maybe they need to look at the opposition, let him have a long holiday and then get back in the ring in the summer. They might go international as well, someone like that. They can find all these fighters from somewhere, can't they? So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. Because I think, look, Eddie loves it, but they would have thought it would have been a lot easier. So when it was that difficult, you maybe, after the adrenaline dump, you maybe kind of think, okay, maybe we need to match-make him a bit more safely, because this is all about him, isn't it? You want this Northeast thing to keep going. So you don't want him to suffer a defeat or have tough fights going forward. Not that early anyway.
Just a quick word on Pat McCormack, the chief support. Hit Sochi with just about every punch in the book. What did you think of the stoppage?
Right. I thought it could have been stopped a couple earlier. Honestly, I was screaming at the corner okay, look, he's not winning. I get it, right? If he gets stopped, that means he has to face a suspension and he can't. I get all that, but fight is safety, man. Yeah. Pat McCormack literally, and I don't know if Pat McCormack carries dynamite in his fist, but he's landing at will. And we're seeing shots from everywhere. Pat McCormack's arsenal of punches is ridiculous. It's almost like it goes into that tool bag and brings out every punch you can see. But he's a special fighter. He's going to be fast-tracked. There's no point hanging around. I know he says he wants the British title, and he might get that. But this is a guy that if you're that good and you've won every single medal, apart from Olympic gold, that you can win, then why hang around? If you've got the talent, it's not like he's 21, 22, go now. So, he's special. I felt sorry for Sochi. When you see him crying at the end, he was a minute away from going all the way with Pat McCormack. And again, you don't like to see the punishment, but if your referee hasn't stopped it in 6 and 7, why stop it with a minute to go? You might as well just let it continue. But again, fight is safety. So look, Pat McCormack special, upset for Sochi.
Couple quick ones before I let you go. I don't know if you saw Alexander Usyk's tweet tonight, Tyson Fury again saying, clock's ticking. Do you think it's happening or not?
No, not April 29th, I don't. And then if it doesn't happen April 29th, you question whether it's going to happen. April 29th is 5 weeks away? 6 weeks away? I don't know if that's enough. The fight should have been announced now. Yeah. What are we waiting for? I did speak to someone at Club Wembley. April 29th is booked, but they're going to do that. You have to book it, don't you? But if it doesn't happen, there's only one person to blame. And I know people like to say, Ade, you're Team AJ. It's not about being Team AJ. It's about knowing what's going on behind the scenes. And it almost seems like Fury keeps moving the goalpost a little bit, and Usyk accepts those new goalposts. And it still doesn't happen. So, look, if it doesn't happen, very disappointed. I hope it will, but I don't think it's going to happen April 29th. I just don't. Look, it's the kind of fight that will sell out immediately, but it still needs a bit of push, because it isn't about bums on seats, it's about selling out pay-per-views. And I just don't know if 5.5 weeks can do that.
We know what Usyk's going to do if that fight doesn't happen. He's going to face one of his mandatories. What does Tyson Fury do, though?
Chill out. Honestly, what are the options on there? You look at the options. Hrgovic, he's not going to do that because it's not a big money fight for him. There was talks about a Wilder full fight. That isn't going to happen because Wilder looks like he's going to fight Ngannou. There aren't that many options, really. I mean, maybe you wait to see how AJ looks in a couple of weeks, and then maybe you roll the dice with AJ in the summer as a big fight, because that will be a big fight. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Tyson Fury is an enigma. I love him, but he's so annoying as well. He's so annoying because this is the guy that has all the talent to become one of the greatest heavyweights we've ever seen, and he's stalling against his biggest test for me. Not Wilder, not Klitschko. This is the biggest test, and he can beat Usyk. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm not quite sure if it's the team maybe a bit more worried than they were letting off, but hopefully we get it done.
Right, Ade, they are packing up around us, so I'm sure we'll catch you very soon when Rob Tebbett invites you into the ID studios.
What is going on? Hello? What about me? Team Ade.
We'll keep the rest for Ade's visit to ID studios very soon. Ade, thank you as always.
Cheers, my man. Top man.